workout room's not going to have shake weights.
Do they come in different weights? Like, is there a blue one, a red one, and a purple one? That way you have like different resistance. You have to shake it harder.
I don't know.
It's something they should come up with if it's not.
Maybe we can make a
The proper
maybe we
shake
can
weight.
make a sheath like molly panels for the shake weights. Maybe we could make a carrier for the back of your armor carrier that carries the shake weight.
Hey.
And when you deploy the shake weight, we could do a sling, and we could do a modular panel so you could put a light on there and shit.
That would be sweet.
So I had the first guy last night want to know, I placed this order, I haven't heard anything from you guys, am I going to have it by Christmas, and I need to know where my order is because I was charged. So I look up at, what do you think
A cock.
what do you think the problem with this order is? Why do you think we're having this conversation? It was a fucking Black Friday sale for a stacked micro rig that says we do not have this
stuff.
You are pre-ordering this. It is non-refundable, and sure as shit, there that motherfucker is. It said right in the fucking post where he got the code. It said right on the web page. Not only did it say on the web page, it said on the top 2 lines of the web page in a font twice as big as all the other letters and in red.
I knew they were coming.
This was the front. I was really surprised. Like every day, I'm like,
Waiting for it.
we got through today, and
Yeah.
it hasn't happened yet. Somebody asked what this is. It's Nestle Coffee Mate. It's concentrated milkshake, pretty much. but I work out, so I can go to Starbucks and order a 1,000-calorie milkshake with extra butter. So I got to take Carter to the airport today, and he's going to his mom. She's getting married, and he's flying out, little bastard, fucking lucky man, little jet setting around. Flies out to his mom's today into Vegas, has the wedding, flies home Sunday to finish midterms.
Yeah, I've got midterms in all my classes.
Midterms, and then and then he fucking flies out the day after Christmas to go back out there.
Must be nice.
And then
Just out flying around.
and then he'll be at SHOT Show, fucking for a week.
just out codying around.
Out codying around, Cody Willis and around. So we're making this video early. I'm not even going to be here to eat breakfast.
What the hell's the Nothing Fancy thing going?
I haven't even looked.
Last time I looked at
Man,
286
I got
comments.
home last night and Amanda said, "Man, the internet is running super slow." And I walked in and she said, "The internet's not working at all." So I turned on Verizon wireless router, and we didn't have shit through that either. It's like there was something blocking signal.
When I was leaving town the other day, I was on the extended network using AT&T until I got halfway to Paris, and then all of a sudden it kicked back on 4G.
Something's jamming signal around.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I had the Verizon guy on the phone because we had this shit happen at the house a while ago, and I had the Verizon dude on the phone. I said, "You ever been around like a cell phone jammer?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "It's exactly fucking like that. Like there's somebody's running an operation somewhere and they've got the signals, but we're rural. Like there's
Yeah. I couldn't imagine what it was, but literally, I left the shop that day. You know, we had the internet here, so my phone was feeding off it. Whenever I left, it was extended network until I got halfway to Paris.
So-
which was no internet, no nothing.
So I got home and I started answering the emails I could, and many of the emails I couldn't do. Like it wasn't even worth doing, missing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it involved looking up an order number, which involved the online website to look up the order number. So I couldn't do shit for emails last night. So about 12:30, I'm falling asleep, and I kind of doze off, wake up, and I had signal at 12:30. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep. We'll do all these at one time tomorrow. So I never even did look at Facebook last night. I don't know what it's doing. So nothing fancy. Like people had asked, you know, what his problem is, why he doesn't ever talk about SOE gear and stuff. He pushes Blackhawk, and like Blackhawk, for people that don't know, Blackhawk, if you are a writer of any kind or have a YouTube channel, they are an enormous company. They will send you fucking piles of shit to review. And the way the review shit works is they will keep feeding you gear until they say something shitty, and then they will quit giving you gear. So if you have some opinion that their shit has problems, you will not receive any more of that shit. And it's not just Blackhawk. It's any of those bigger gear companies. We don't send out gear for review. Typically, guys you see reviewing our stuff they've purchased the gear or traded for it or somehow have it in their possession. We did not send it to them free. When we get a dude who's done a bunch of gear reviews over time, we will start feeding him whatever he wants to see. And it's not because he's going to do a good review or a bad review. It's because he's a known quantity. He's a known dude. If you hit me up and go, I'm going to do these reviews, we have to weigh what are we going to get for giving you this gear, exposure-wise. Even a dude with a fucking million fucking people on his Facebook page, if he does a shitty review, I'm still sending that motherfucker gear because he's going to expose us to a million people. And that's what it's all about. Like, it is about business, and business is about money. And if I'm going to do something for you, what do I stand to gain for doing it, and vice versa. So we get hit up every day. I've got fucking 2-3 emails. Hey, I got this gear review company. We'll put you out to all of our customers and all of our clients and all of our viewers. And we go and look at their page, and they've got 300 fans. We're not sending you any gear. Like, I don't have the time to have my people box that shit up and send it, because it'll be fucking sold tomorrow. Like, we don't sit on a lot of inventory, and when we do, it's only because we haven't had time to put it in a box yet. So, and then the other common thing is they'll tell me all the shit they're going to do, and there's no YouTube page, there's no Facebook link, there's nothing to their channel, and I have to ask for it. At which, like, I won't even, if you don't have the information included, obviously you haven't been doing this enough to be able to do much for us, and we're not even going to reply to your email at this point. We can't. But we get hit up with that a lot. So the nut fancy thing, I didn't remember it, but when somebody emailed me that link that I posted yesterday, and he had it set somehow, I don't know how to do it, he had it set so it would only play the first 2 minutes. So I watched that, and he said, hey, I was standing there when this was filmed. And as soon as he said it, I remembered it, because the dude says, hey, my name is so-and-so, you won't be able to pronounce it, but it is Steven in English. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks like Steven. I remember we were coming down the hallway, and Cody said he thought he remembered it too. I'm coming down the hallway, and there's like 2-3 German dudes with backpack, typical SHOT Show shit. But they're like, John Willis, oh, the Cox, those are awesome. And they introduced me to this dude. And I remember going, oh yeah, I've heard of that dude. That dude's got a fucking big, YouTube presence or whatever it was. Like, we didn't have a YouTube channel. At that time, I don't think Jaeger had even started his YouTube channel yet. So we weren't really paying attention to it. We'd go watch videos on it occasionally, music and shit. And back then, like, the internet service wasn't even good enough to really stream videos, so we weren't fucking with it very much. We were using Pandora back then. So I remember talking to him, and I remember thinking this dude's kind of a cock. The thing is, like, we rolled film, he interviewed me, we videoed, so what I said is on tape, or card, or whatever it was. But that motherfucker, he didn't play any of that shit because he's a fucking liar. That is not what was fucking said. Maybe his version of it. But, like, while he's saying it, I'm like, man, I don't say fucking load carriage system and weapons platform and shit like that. Like, I go, that's not my words. And then it dawned on me, well, he can't play my words because that's not what I said. And that's the issue with it. And then he rolled into his fucking 25-minute Blackhawk commercial. I don't have a problem with Blackhawk. Mike Knoll and I used to bump heads. Mike Knoll was a fucking dick to me early days, back 96, 7, 8, around there, early 2000. We'd be at a Soldier Fortune show, and my guys would walk into Mike Knoll's booth, and that motherfucker would literally walked up to me and goes, what are you going to copy, Willis? I'm like, what the fuck am I going to copy that you didn't copy from John Carver? Eagle. John Carver owned Eagle. John Carver was very fucking cool to me. Spent hours talking to me the first time I met him. Every time he was in my town, he made a point to come by, and we'd go to lunch and have lunch, and he'd offer to, hey, if you ever get any contracts and you can't build them, we will be happy to run production, put your labels on them, build them to your design. John Carver, very, very cool man. Mike Knoll, he was a fucking dick to me, especially when we were starting. He was an asshole to my employees. When are you going to come work for a real company? Just bullshit. Mike Knoll did well for himself. Today, I have no problem with Mike. Mike, flew Jaeger out there, and they've got a gym, and put him up, and put up a bunch of riders, and he's like, hey, tell John, no hard feelings, and, if I can do anything for him, let him know. Like, I wouldn't know Mike Knoll today to see him. I could bump right into him, I wouldn't know it was him. Carver, I know Carver, fucking awesome dude, but, like, nowadays, like, Mike Knoll doesn't own Blackhawk, ATK owns Blackhawk, ATK owns Eagle, ATK owns fucking everybody. Those dudes sold. John Carver had a non-compete clause, and his son started First Spear. First Spear's doing cool shit. Fucking Tier Tactical, like, you know, I don't really know that man. I want to talk to him. I met him in the early days, and you know, I thought he was a prick. I intend to talk to him at SHOT Show, and but out of the guys in the industry, I think Tier Tactical is doing some very, very cool shit. And I'm gonna walk into his booth and say, hey, I want to introduce myself, and I'd like to talk to you. I'm not here to copy your shit. You're doing shit we don't want to do. We're going a different direction. And, you know, if you have a problem with that, I will take my people out of your booth. We won't be here if you're uncomfortable with that. But that's a person I want to talk to, industry-wise. And Mike Bornfriend, I consider Mike a friend. Like, you know, we had our problems, and most of the problems that we had were, you know, me on my end. And Mike's done very well for himself. And I would do something with Mike if Mike wanted to do something, and vice versa. We speak pretty often. I don't know why I really even went in this direction with this, but the Nut Fancy thing, there's a lot of industry dudes, and his thing is just, you know, inexpensive, low cost gear, Condor gear, whatever it is. I really don't know. I haven't ever watched one. You can come through here, whatever. Who's here?
It's Amanda.
You can come in here. Like I don't really know what his videos are. I've heard he was an Air Force guy. I heard he was a pilot, fighter pilot maybe. I don't know. I've never been able to make it through one of his videos. He's never done anything for me or asked to, so I just didn't really have any interest in his shit, and I don't have 25 minutes to watch him talk about some shit that I have no interest in. But several people have hit me up and gone, what's the problem? What's he got with you?
And I didn't know there was a problem, and that video didn't exist until that dude.
Well, we kind of knew when people started asking. Like, people were alluding to it, like they maybe had heard something. This dude crawled out of the woodwork yesterday and fucking shot me a link. He goes, here's this problem with you. I was there when this happened. And my issue with it, the reason I posted it, he's fucking alluding to something. It is us he was talking about. There is a video between him and I, and he chose not to post the video and tried to fucking tell his story, and he's a fucking liar. That's it. I will say shit all the time that you guys don't like. I will fucking have supporting evidence all the time. That's why we film shit. You're not going to see me saying I'm doing something that I'm not. That's why I post photos of shit. You know, obviously we're doing what we say we're doing. And, whatever. So, I put that up. Guys, there's a few dudes like, all I ever see is negative stuff from you guys. No, dipshit. That's because you don't look. You see negative shit. You see negative shit because you don't look at us or pay attention to us. And the negative shit gets so many views. I posted that post yesterday on Facebook about Nut Fancy, the video of him talking shit, and we got 25,000 views within an hour. 5 minutes after that post, just that link that I posted a picture of us eating lunch, and that picture 5 minutes later had 1,000 views after an hour. That's why I do that. Nut Fancy, we don't have anything to lose by having some fucking beef or rap battle or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that's what it is. It's like the dope game, or like,
dude, that'd be awesome.
Like, it's like the rap game. The rappers don't hate each other. They gotta have some shit to keep you talking. It's just like
fucking show, get some street cred.
Fucking Kanye West saying stupid shit, or any of those fucking rich dudes saying stupid shit. That's a publicity stunt. Most of it. I mean, I'm sure some of them are fucking dipshits, but most of that shit, like the 50 Cent and Mayweather thing, yeah, there's some shit to it, but a lot of it's just fucking, and fucking 50 Cent will tell you that in interviews. Like, I don't have a problem with it, dude. It's fucking, it keeps us on the radar. And that's the thing. So the Nut Fancy thing, with me fucking putting that out there, he's got 1 million viewers or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I scanned to gain something from that. We have a bunch of viewers. We don't stand to really lose anything. Nobody on those posts went, I'm not fucking liking you guys anymore. Everybody fucking knew about it.
Yeah.
All it does is fucking all of those dudes, those fucking 3,000 guys that posted yesterday, some of them are going to post over on his page, and somebody's going to find out about us.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. I'm just fucking being just straight out honest. Fucking, because the whole industry will deny it, and nobody will sit down and give you this fucking information without charging you a shitload of money. Fucking advisors and consultants and all these dudes that own gear companies and shit that now go around and consult. I'm telling you something that they would charge you a lot of money for. And I'm telling you something that's not mainstream. It will become mainstream. We've got fucking professors in colleges writing to us every week asking to interview us about what it is we're doing. You will see this soon in college education within the next fucking probably 18 to 24 months. They won't maybe mention us. It won't be towards us. But this type of marketing, you're going to start hearing about it. Because the mainstream shit, people don't want to do corporate America anymore. If we're going to fucking rebuild America and make America great like everybody talks about back in fucking World War II and the fucking chicks welding aircraft and fucking having to allocate and do all that shit, it's going to be built on small fucking dudes in their garages. Those guys all started somewhere. When you look at all the greats and all the big money, and a lot of it was fucking illegally gained. I mean, a lot of those fucking big money families, when it was illegal to fucking, you know, do booze here, they went to Canada and brought it across. That shit was highly illegal. But they didn't get in trouble for it. It's just fucking perception. So, like, all that shit started someplace. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever idea, everybody talks about you got to go to college and you got to get a business plan and you know you got to get a business loan and a small business loan and you do. You make all these little relationships and you network and shit. And that's one way to look at it. And you can spend 2 years doing that shit. And for some guys it works. But I think the numbers are 90% fucking failure for most fucking startup businesses. So another way to look at it is you can have an idea and a dream and something you're passionate about and something you love. Figure out how to make money with that. Even if you fail, it will transition to something else. You can spend 2 years fucking building up to learn and fail, or you can spend 2 years failing little and finally something fucking catches and grabs and you fucking run in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know some of the fucking wealthiest, most successful people I know don't have any college education. And most of the ones that do are not working within their field of fucking education. They're just not. So find something you like doing, and whatever that is, and then figure out how to make money at it. People ask me, you know, what number one piece of business advice I'd give them. Whatever it is you do, you better love doing it because you're going to be fucking doing it a long time. I did this shit for fucking free for a long time. We were stealing materials to be able to make shit. We were cutting buckles off of shopping carts. We were stealing fucking tennis nets off of Camp Pendleton. We were cutting canvas out of tents and fucking and deuce and a halves and shit. Motor Pool didn't have any fucking canvas. Like we were fucking getting shit where we could get it because it was not available back then when we started. Do what you got to do. I'm not saying go fucking steal a bunch of shit. I'm just saying we were committed to making this work, and it worked.
Redistribution.
Yeah.
Or something. No, that sounds too abominable.
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
You got anything to say? I've talked long enough. I have to go.
I don't. Well.
Go ahead and spit it out, Junior.
Well, like what you were saying about the gear review thing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of companies will give you gear or whatever for free until you do a review that they don't like.
Right.
And they won't give it to you. I've experienced that with a girlfriend, and that's why she's not my girlfriend anymore. Not Tasha. And I'm just making fun.
What gear did she give you?
No, I got a bad gear review.
Got it. Okay. Got it, okay.
So
I'm
I wouldn't give it to her anymore.
It's like I'm back in 1990. Like I'm like gear review. I'm like. I'm trying to figure out what it is we're talking about.
Different gear review.
So along those lines, there was a company called Combative Concepts. Mike Sneed, Dave Maynard, Ken Good. Ken, still in the industry. I don't know where the other guys went. They had contracts to do all the VBSS, Visit Board Search Seizure, for the United States Navy. They worked a lot with the SEALs. Several of those dudes were ex-team guys from West Coast. And they later became... It was Combative Concepts. They did all the Navy SEAL videos, which were kind of corny. And then they later became Surefire Institute for Surefire, and then they became Strategos, and they've become several things. Ken Good now has a light out that is supposed to be just a fucking beast. It's fucking bright as can be. It's very, very cool. I don't remember the name of his company. But when we sat down, they had just done these SEAL team videos that were all over the gun shows on VHS tapes. And they wanted to meet, so we sat down. I don't know if you were there. I don't remember who was there. It was myself and 2 other people. We meet them. We go into this Mexican restaurant, big-ass table. They called us. Like, we did not approach them with this. We sit down. They're like, what can you do for us? I'm like, you fucking called us. What do you mean, what can we do for you? And they go, well, we just shot these videos, like High Tech sent us boots, and Danner sent us boots, and Olympic sent us a bunch of AR-15s, and all these companies sent us shit, and, you know, we put them in the video. What can you do for us? I go, well, I can sell you some gear. And, like, they were fucking taken aback. But the deal was, we were selling everything we made. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have fucking given them something if I wanted to. Like, we didn't have it. Our shit was on motherfuckers out in the fucking ocean and in the sand and fucking, you know, out doing casts and chocolate mountains and all over the place. Like, we weren't making a ton of shit. And we never did any business after that until fast forward Surefire Institute. The story I heard was the owner of Surefire, John Matthews, he was cool as fuck, man. He came down to my shop and he didn't even want to talk about gear. He just wanted to talk about riding wheelies on a motorcycle. He had retired, came back out of retirement, and the story was he wanted some machine guns. And they're like, well, John Matthews, you can't have any machine guns. He's like, well, I'll show you. So they started a training cell and then started making suppressors so that he could get machine guns to make suppressors for. And they've done very well for themselves, man. I'm very, very happy for them. Everybody within the company that I ever dealt with is very cool. I had dudes from Surefire working in our shop. We had a very close relationship. We built all the gear for the training cadre, and then those guys split. I don't know if they lost interest or he lost. I don't know what happened really, but a bunch of money was infused, and then they split and went their own direction. And one of the guys, Jeff Green, we dealt with a lot from Surefire Institute. He has a company called Voland, I believe it is. They're doing dogs. He has some fucking awesome dogs. He's doing well for himself. I just saw a video of his on Soldier Systems and hit him up and just said, hey man, fucking looks like you're doing awesome. And we talked for a minute and he's doing well. Wade, from there, he has started a company doing nylon shit. I don't remember the name of his company. Ronin Nylon or something. Bushido Tactical. That's Wade. He's in my industry competing with us, and you know, we were friends. We still talk. Anytime I'm around, I stop by and say hello to him when I see him at a show, and he's still around. But this shit goes way back, like into the 90s. Like, we were joking, you know, a couple years ago about we've been doing this shit longer than the internet, and we really were doing this shit longer than we were doing this long. Like, we didn't have cell phones. Like, we were stopping at payphones with pagers. Yeah, it's wild. But I gotta go. So cut that shit off unless you're gonna say something.
I'm good.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody. Happy Thursday.
I refuse to say that.
Happy Friday Eve.